Hi everybody, so a bit of a personal post today, as you can tell by the title, a day in the life of my cold. Not meant to be too self-centric, but yeah, gonna level with you. Woke up this morning, didn't feel particularly great, so I thought this is quite a good opportunity just to go through some of the things that I do when I don't feel particularly well and talk about some of the products that I choose to use. Again, not meant to be a product placement exercise in any way. There are some reasons why I've chosen to use these particular products, and if you want to ask me about them specifically, please do send me a message and I'm more than happy to talk about that. And if you go out and choose to buy them as well, absolutely up to you, but I am not pushing any particular brands, I'm not being paid by anyone, just have to cover that. So, if we start off with a little quick symptom rundown for you. I have got a super sore throat, I have got a really sore stuffy face, and I have quite a bad headache. So what am I going to do? Well, first of all, I'm not going to be able to go to bed for the day, so I need to sort out my symptoms and be able to get on with my day. And then also, I want to be able to support my immune system to make sure that whatever is causing this gets out of town quick sharp and I can go back to being my normal Duracell bunny self. And I also want to make sure that in terms of my immune function, I'm not distracting it with anything else. I'm going to get rid of all other stressors on my body. Just, give it a bit of a cuddle, look after myself. So, first up, I need to be able to talk. So I need to get rid of the sore throat ASAP. It needs to be out the door. So first of all, what I always reach for is a lovely elderberry spray. Elderberry is brilliant. It is a systemic antiviral, so it'll help get rid of whatever's causing it, but also it will go to the back of the throat and act to soothe and lubricate. Winner. That's exactly what we need. Quickly followed by another spray. We've got some colloidal silver, which is antimicrobial, so if it's bacterial, that will get rid of that. And again, we're soothing and we're lubricating. We are chatting away, sort of, getting there. Next up, the stuffy face feeling. It's really unpleasant. It makes us dizzy, it makes us nauseous, makes us feel travel sick. We don't want it. I love to reach for this pawpaw balm. It's got eucalyptus and lemon myrtle and some other mentholy things. Many of you will be familiar with the classic Vicks Vapor Rub, but this is the natural version. It doesn't have anything synthetic or weird in it. I really like it. You can go on your lips, on your nose. Even if it's cracked, it won't sting. That's great. On your chest, you can use it with kids. I love it. The other thing is, if you don't want to be a bit shiny, if you're going somewhere you need to be, I also carry this in my bag or in my pocket. It's a lovely little essential oil stick. Again, completely natural. Pop it up your nostril. Breathe in deeply. It helps to open up those airways, helps to break down the guitar. It's brilliant. I love this one. Again, if you're super congested and need a bit more of a hard hit, go for something like a pure essential oil. I have some eucalyptus here. You could also use oregano or thyme or rosemary. They're all brilliant. Pop a few drops into a big bowl of steaming water. Pop your head over, cover your head with a towel, breathe in the steam, opens up the airways and actively starts to break down that guitar that is just making you feel a bit gross. Also put it in a bath, maybe with some magnesium salts, and again just sit and soak and breathe up the steam, but make sure to mix the water in because if this goes on your skin directly, it will make it tingle, make it feel cold. It's not going to do anything bad, but it'll just feel a bit funny for a little while. The other thing to always think about is your fluid intake as well, especially if you're congested, because not only will you need more water, but you'll be losing more fluid. So I always think about having at least 2 litres of water a day. I then add plenty of herbal teas on top, and there are a couple that I really like. They happen to both just be by Pukka. The first one is their amazing turmeric gold blend. It does have some normal caffeinated tea in it though, so just be aware of that. But you get the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant action, and it's got a bit of licorice root in it too, which is yummy and sweet. Love it. I also sometimes add a bit of fresh ginger or some lemon or a bit of fresh turmeric just for an extra boost, but that's me. The other one I like, which is a decaf one, is this cleanse tea. It's nettle, fennel and peppermint, which are all nice and clean and fresh, helps to sort of cut through everything, break everything down. Nettle is also really mineral rich, so it's brilliant for overall health promotion, and peppermint's quite good if you've got any kind of dicey tummy feelings. It just helps to calm that down too, so we're winning on all fronts there. The other thing to think about is your electrolytes. If you're losing lots of fluid and you're also drinking, you've got to make sure you've got all your salts in balance. So I sometimes just reach for something like this really nice raw coconut water. I personally like this brand. You can choose whatever you want, but just make sure they don't have any added sugar because some of them do. That's a really good one to have. You can also go for something like a dehydrated coconut water powder, or you could go for something like an electrolyte little dropper bottle. But it's up to you, but just make sure that you're definitely having enough fluids. And whilst we're talking about foods, a couple of specific nutrients we really want to concentrate on. Number one, vitamin C, which probably most people will think about. Now think about citrus fruits and oranges. They're all great, but don't forget about good old peppers. We love peppers. They're really nice to snack on, and they're rich in water too, so they'll help with your rehydration. Definitely go for some of them. Then you've got your holy trinity, as I call them. So you've got your fresh ginger, fresh turmeric, and fresh garlic. These guys are your superpowers when it comes to things like antimicrobial action, anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. So definitely get some of them in there as much as you can, really. Make teas, brilliant. Just make sure to have a few of them. The other one that people don't sometimes think about is chilies. Now, when we get poorly, we get a temperature, and that's for a good reason. Obviously, we don't want to have a super high fever, especially in the young or the elderly, for a prolonged period of time. But what that fever is actually doing is it's trying to kill off the bacteria in your body. So it's a natural reaction by your body to help fight infection. So a few chilies help that process along, get you back on your feet super quick. Okay, and the other ones we want to think about are things like zinc, which is in stuff like pumpkin seeds or pumpkin seed oil, which really support our immune function. Big winner. Overall, though, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are getting lots of vitamins and minerals in there. And I know that one of the big things is, especially for me, when I'm congested or I have a sore throat, is my appetite goes a bit funny. And that is when I just go for a smoothie, because it's super quick. I don't have to think about it. I can get loads of greens in there. I can get all my spinach and broccoli and avocado and beetroot and berries and everything like that. That's all in there. Don't have to think about it. And then what I always do is I add in some protein powder, because sometimes people just forget about protein when they're not feeling so great, but your body really needs it to be able to function at its best. So something like this lovely, natural, plant-based one, brilliant, and you know that you're getting all the nutrients that you need to fight this thing off and get back to normal. Also, one of my personal favourites is I love to add a bit of bee pollen. It's yummy, it's full of amino acids, and it's really supportive of the immune system, but it's up to you whether you like it or not. If you don't have fresh turmeric as well, what you can do is you can go for something like a turmeric latte powder or just some ground turmeric to pop into that smoothie as well. This one's lovely. It's got a bit of extra ginger in it and also has things like cinnamon. Super yummy. You could also just make yourself a little bit of a turmeric latte, because turmeric is brilliant, just general for immune support. Really like this guy. Now, the other thing to think about is if somebody gets a bit of an upset tummy, which luckily for me, I'm not experiencing, but people do. So if you get anything like diarrhea, then it's always good to have something like Saccharomyces on hand, because what Saccharomyces does is it's a lovely friendly yeast. It will travel along your intestinal tract, it will grab hold of anything causing any problems and take it out quick sharp. So we like this guy. If you are having a bit of a dodgy tummy situation as well, you might want to think about something like a probiotic. You don't necessarily have to go for a supplement. You could just go for something like some fermented foods. But if you're unwell, I always say steer clear of the dairy ones, because they can cause a bit more mucus production. That's not what we want to be doing. So go for your miso and sauerkraut and your kimchi, maybe some kombucha, but maybe stay clear of the live yogurt and kefir just for a little while. Now, we've talked a lot about foods, and that's always one I want to concentrate on first, but I always like to give myself a little bit of a boost as well. So there are a couple of supplements I do reach for, something like a really nice zinc, but make sure probably not to take it on an empty tummy. Have it with a little bit of food, because it can make people feel a little bit extra nauseous, which is what we don't want to do. The other one is I always add in a bit of extra vitamin C, and I love, again, the Pukka ones, because they're nice and natural. It's just pure vitamin C, so have some of that on hand. And if I'm feeling really down and out, or I know that I just need to get on with life, I always have some of this wellness formula. It is packed full of antiviral herbs and vitamins and minerals, and literally nothing grotty stands a chance when this guy's in town. So that is my kind of superstar of getting back on my feet. Now that is my super quick rundown. I can now go back to feeling incredibly sorry for myself. Just kidding. There are a couple of things to do, and this is probably more for ladies, what with me being a girl, but I think that actually having a really quick shower, applying some eye makeup, and putting on a bit of tinted lip balm is always a good thing. So try and make yourself feel as normal as possible, and give yourself a break. Don't try and start going to the gym. Maximum do a little bit of yoga, but have a nice bath, have a relax, take your day a little bit slower than you usually would, and just give your body a little bit of a hug and time to repair. So I hope that was a little bit helpful for you, and maybe next time you're not feeling so good, you might reach for some of these things instead of your standard stuff. And if you have any questions, send me an email, comment below, come back to you as soon as I can.